Hey guys, welcome to my first drive video on BMW's i7. I'm not convinced by the way this car looks, and I really don't think it's going to be a grower because, well, we've kind of seen it in pictures and some out on the road over the past, let's say, 6 months or so, and it definitely hasn't grown on me at all. But as we all know, the 7 Series is about luxury, as I know very well because I was a chauffeur for many years and had 4 7 Series during my 8 years of chauffeuring, but obviously not this very latest one. So it'd be interesting for me once we're inside and away from the exterior and I can just focus on the interior. Getting in, what I have noticed already, although it's very bling in here and there's lots of shiny plastics which remind me very much of an S-Class Mercedes, just the quality doesn't seem to be as nice as the previous 7. Just doesn't feel as expensive. When you close the door, it doesn't feel as nice. But there's no getting away from the fact that there are screens and special buttons everywhere. In fact, when I jumped in here for the first time, the spec sheet was in the glove box and I couldn't work out how to open the glove box because there's now an electronic button on the dash to open the glove box, which is confusing because, as with many manufacturers, they've got rid of buttons like handy and useful climate control buttons that are now in the curved display, which is normal in all BMWs. In my M3 Touring that came down here and today, so I am familiar with that. But they've removed buttons for things like climate controls, but we've added a button here where the climate control buttons used to be to open the glove box. Well, there you go. Not really sure about that myself, but as I say, let's focus on some of the positives. Well, the positives are these seats are extremely comfortable. That doesn't surprise me because cars like the iX, I mean, BMW seats in general over all generations, as pretty much as long as I've been alive, they've always had and been the leaders, class leaders in very comfortable seats that tend to be reasonably supportive as well. And these are very, very nice. Let's get it out on what they call the hill route, which is a bit like your ideal UK B road, if you like, and on this particular circuit at Millbrook, it's one way. I only have this car for 15-20 minutes, so we're going to be quick and head out. So let's indicate and head out. Okay, so the indicators feel a bit different. The stalks are quite plasticky, but yeah, it's nice. Ergonomics, spot on. Driving position, surprise, surprise, just lovely. I feel at home in here. I feel like if I close my eyes, which I can because we're on private land, there's nothing in front of me and we're doing 8 miles an hour, it feels like I could be in anything. Could be in my M3, but in very, very comfortable seats. This being an i7, it is, of course, fully electric. I think they claim this has a range of about 380 miles. I really haven't done my homework on this car because it's very fast paced here. Everything kind of happens. You're given the car and then you've got to go off and bring it back. So I haven't done much homework on this car, partly because I've been in denial about it because I just, as we talked about, styling really is enough to put me off the car entirely. But what I have looked at, so I think range is close to 400 miles, 380 something. Apparently you get a realistic range of 300 just over, which is good enough for an EV, I think. Even as a chauffeuring car, I very rarely, as a chauffeur in my 7 or 8 years, very rarely did more than 300 miles. Occasionally I would head off towards Paris or something last minute, and I think that's where, if you were a chauffeur and you had a full EV, that's where it would get worrying. If you're suddenly told by your client that they want to go up to Scotland or over to France, then you're in trouble. But yeah, and this is the 60, so let me get this right, 536 horsepower and 750 newton meters of torque. I think that sounds about right. That's enough power and enough torque, and I'm sure we'll play around with that in a minute. Let's leave it in comfort because we're going over some rumble strips, and these are pretty gnarly rumble strips. This is a test center, so they test cars suspension and handling, etc., and they are gnarly in something like an i20N that I went around in last year. In this, you know, they're there, but it does an incredible job suspension wise. Yeah, very, very comfortable. In terms of sound, well, there's hardly anything. Okay, we're only doing 35 miles an hour. Let's pick the pace up a bit. Oh, I can hear some Hans Zimmer's best work. Oh god, there's loads of driving aids doing things underneath me that I don't like. It's a problem with modern cars. When you don't know them that well and you don't know how to turn everything off straight away, they're a little bit intrusive and annoying, because you can feel the car doing so many things that you don't want it to do. Staying very flat through here, extremely flat actually. As I say, ride quality, sound deadening, it's very, very good. I can imagine this at 50-60 miles an hour would be a very pleasant place to spend some time in. Let's pick the pace up a bit because we have some other cars catching us. We can't be overtaken on the hill route, can we? Let's see what this car is like when you start pushing it a little bit. Oh god, that weight transfer is horrible. It's fast in a straight line. Boy oh boy, there's a lot of weight here. I mean, I think it's just over 2.7 tons. Hopefully my bag's not going to swing around and make too much noise. 2.7 tons, just over. Oh yes, you feel that, you really do feel that. I mean, it's nowhere near as good as the older 7 in terms of driving dynamics. Steering is quite nice, but it's just so heavy. It just feels really, really fast in a straight line, but the momentum is quite scary. Oh, my bag's really beginning to annoy me. Let's get that on the floor. There we go. There's definitely no rattles going on in here apart from my bag. Oh, there's loads of funny braking things going on. I think what we need to do is do another lap, ramp everything up a bit, take it out of comfort. Oh yeah, intrusive traction control. Oh yes, she's a big girl. Just hit this. So that was about 55. I think we need to hit that about 65. Try and get some air as we come around to the end of the lap. BMW claim this to do the 0-60 sprint. I think it's 4.7 seconds something. I mean, fast enough. My old 730D, I think that was like, or 730LD, it was the long wheelbase. That was about 6 seconds to 60, and I never used all that performance as a chauffeur's car. So this has definitely got enough straight line performance, but it doesn't feel dynamically amazing. But I've got to take that sports car head off, because at the end of the day I should be doing this, cruising around and sort of enjoying what this car does do very well, which is ride comfort and peace and quiet, etc. Let's pull over here and just try and familiarize myself a bit better with the car. In fact, let's just talk about the spec sheet on this. So I'll put my hazards on. In fact, don't need to do that. Oh wow, everything lights up when you put your hazard lights on. Wow, all the trim starts flashing like hazard lights. There you go. So this is base price. It's an i7 xDrive60 M Sport, and its code name is the G70. I believe my older one was the G12. Base price about 114 grand. This has got the rear comfort pack, 5 grand. This has got the M Sport Pro pack, £2,750. Sky Lounge pack, 850 quid. Crafted Clarity controls, 750 quid. Parking Assistant Pro, 400 quid. BMW Theatre Screen, £4,000. We'll test that out shortly. So we've got a total of options of around 15 grand. This has got an on-the-road price of about £130,000, which is a lot of money, but I can imagine you could probably spec one of these up a lot higher. And in fact, BMW have just launched the i7 M70, which I think has got nearly 700 horsepower. Why you'd need more power and speed in this is beyond me. It doesn't need more power and more speed. But I guess it's just a numbers game at the moment with all these EVs, isn't it? It's all about how fast you go and how much power and torque they produce. I mean, that must be close to 900 Newton meters, maybe 1,000. I don't know. Let's turn it up into a sportier mode How do we do that in here? Come on, Joe, there must be my modes. There we go. Sport. Right, let's go and do another lap. Oh, I've got a paddle on the left here, which says boost. So let's go and see what this is like using the boost. So we've got a little straight here, pull that. Oh my goodness gracious me. Okay, that is just fast. That obviously gives us an overboost function. Looks like we're gonna have some traffic here. We've got a Vauxhall and something in front. Can we undertake over the ripples, or will I get in a lot of trouble for that? Probably getting a lot of trouble. I think what I'm gonna do is probably just pull over here, give them a little bit of breathing space. Yeah, I feel pressurized into talking about things. I will jump in the back later and figure out what that's like, but yeah, it's, like I said, it's nice in here, but I get the feeling that there's been some cost cuts and it's not quite as nice everywhere. It's just nice. It's not, the old 7 was perfection. This one is just, it's nice, but it kind of doesn't feel any more special or anywhere better put together than my M3, which is the 3 Series. Oh, and then you pull the boost. Oh, all the displays come up with boost everywhere. Boost. I should have figured out how to turn traction off, because I think that's going to be my biggest issue when I really start pushing this big bus. Oh yes, the poor tyres. You got to feel sorry for the tyres when you start pushing something like this. I'm going to get a yellow flag. Nope. Yep, I'm getting a yellow flag. Thank you. Not sure what that means, but I'm sure it's probably not the best. Oh, understeer. Oh yes, big chunks of understeer. We're catching an electric van, an ID Buzz. I actually took that for a drive earlier on, and it's really impressive. Is he gonna let me through? Do I just punch it down the outside? Has he seen me? He has. Yep, there we go. Just go around the outside. There we go. Lovely jubbly. And let's turn it in. Oh yeah, it doesn't like this. Oh, there's a coach out here. Right. I mean, I'm not going to talk about the numbers because there is a speed limit out here, but it does get up there quickly, that's for sure. And like all big cars that are fast, it disguises its speed reasonably well. It's only when you need to get on the anchors or change direction that you realise, wow, she's a big one. Oh yes. Okay. Oh, the brakes are just not very good. I thought I was going to push that through the floorboards then. This bit's always blind and quite scary as we come over there. Oh, just avoided a pheasant there. Oh, and then we're catching slow moving traffic. So we're going to slow right down here because I want to see if we can get a little bit of air in this car. If we can launch with me in this car and my camera gear, we must be nudging 3 tons, which is a scary thought. So let's see if we can actually get 3 tons a little bit airborne. We'll just wait for a bit of a gap. This marshal probably thinks I'm just taking it very easy, which I am. Okay, let's looks clear now. Let's not overcook it down here because those brakes are just, oh god. Okay, here we go. Oh! Whoa! Oh wow, my head hurts. Oh, that was yeah, that was good. Dealt with the landing very nicely. Of course, this is a purpose-built test track, and that's designed so that the car sort of floats through the air, and that's exactly what it did. But you can launch 3 tons of BMW and land very nicely and pleasantly. What's my verdict on the i7? I mean, it's a nice place to be in the front, and we're going to discover whether it's a nice place to be in the back, and I'm sure it is. There's definite cost cutting in here. I don't care what the brochures say or what your showroom people at BMW say, but it's not as cost cutting as something like if you get in a S-Class. I know people rate Mercedes and S-Class. They have always been the flagship car in this environment, but if you start prodding around in an S-Class, it gets very cheap and very nasty very quickly. And there'll be a lot of Mercedes fanboys and girls denying that, but it's true. The A8, or the S8, well, the current one is getting a little bit old now, but I would have to say in terms of actual fit and finish and quality, that's, in my opinion, now probably the leader. So it'd be interesting to see what the new replacement A8 is going to be like, if they continue to bring that quality into it. I sort of fear that they won't, because it's all about cost cutting at the moment for everyone, to try and compete with people like the Koreans that are just, you know, bringing out incredible models at decent prices. So it is hard for the Germans. And yeah, I'm not blown away by this car. I'm really not. That used, that 26,000 pound 2016 730D that I bought about a year ago, 18 months ago, to do my long distance challenge, that to me is a nicer car. It is, if you said which one would you like to, forget about the fact this has got a limited range because it's electric, but that was just a really nice car. It really got under my skin. Obviously I'd had those in the past as a work car, and although that particular one was a real boggo spec, it hardly had any options, it was a base 730D, it was just the full complete package. Whereas this, I think this is designed to satisfy the TikTokers and short form content. I can't believe I've just said that, but it is kind of like that. It's a nice place to sit, it's a nice place to be, but has it impressed me in any way? Not particularly, no. I think maybe the hill route isn't the best example of what we could put this car through, or the best scenario we could put this particular car through. But yeah, it's nice, but it's not 130 grand nice. I mean, yeah, I'd rather have a used 730D and my M3 Touring for that money. Thank you very much. But I appreciate, as always, BMW letting me have a go in this. I didn't have massively high expectations, so I haven't been brought down a level. And I have to say, the stand-up features of these seats, I'm going to be sad to actually get out of this, because this is very comfortable. I can sit here all day. In fact, let's just quickly check out the back seats. Oh no, just put it in park. I will jump in the back. Okay, well, it's very comfortable back here. Surprise, surprise. It's a nice place to be. There's headroom. These seats are just as comfortable as the ones in the front. Got these lovely cushions, which are just beautiful. We've got these silly touch screens down here on the door, which I think look good again, but in reality we just get fingerprints all over them, and they're probably quite complicated to use. That's my view looking forward. Beautiful. Yeah, so I think as a chauffeuring car, if you don't mind walking up to this and you're not embarrassed about getting in it because of its visuals on the outside, once you're in here in the back, it is a lovely place to be. Anyway guys, thanks a lot for watching this video. Sorry it's been a rush one, but hopefully you've learned something from it, and apologies to BMW for being so brutally honest, but I mean, there are people out there that think I get paid by BMW, so hopefully videos like this will prove that I clearly don't. I love a lot of their cars, but not all of them. I need to spend more time with one of these, maybe the hybrid version. Maybe that's got a bit more soul, maybe it's a little bit lighter, and yeah, let's see. Watch this space. Thanks for watching. See you at the next video very soon. Bye. I've actually managed to find a passenger, a VIP passenger. Hello. Some of you might say. My good friend Steph ABTV from YouTube, hey, if you're not familiar with him. And this is following on from the first bit of the video that you just watched. We're going to see what it's like back there. And almost like a dare, I'm really keen to see what Steph feels like back there, looking up at this screen, because in my head, you're not going to feel great after a while. So we're going to take it easy and do normal chauffeuring things to start with, and then we're going to pick the pace up a bit, and we're going to watch Steph's face.
Fine.
What are you watching back there, mate?
Well, I'm surfing through like Netflix at the moment, and some of your weird stuff is popping up, mate. So I'm going to have to change that.
Oh yeah, you're logged into my Amazon account.
I'm logged into your Amazon.
Hopefully,
so,
hopefully it's all family friendly.
It is at the moment.
Okay.
So I'm just surfing around, playing around with this 8K TV, which, by the way, is pretty magnificent. So so far I'm feeling very nice.
Okay.
Seats are super comfy.
Yep.
Leg room is great, as you would expect in a BMW luxury product.
Yep.
Although I'm already struggling with the screen because I'm kind of trying to touch the small search button to actually search something, and I keep pushing the wrong thing. Oh.
You keep looking up at that screen, Steph, all right?
I'm trying. Oh my god, I've got motion sickness already. I'm watching YouTube. I'm watching an ad.
Oh, mate.
Right now, mate. I feel like I'm in the most luxurious washing machine.
Tea out. Oh! Oh wow, that was not 90 miles an hour because there's a 30 mile an hour limit.
There's a 30 mile an hour limit.
Right, so let's not overcook this. It's all about carrying good speed through here.
Oh my god.
Go. Oh, there we go.
Jump up!
Oh, even I feel sick. Oh my god, I feel awful.
I literally just took off out of my seat.
I think the fact that you haven't thrown up yet is actually, I'm very impressed with that. We're
in trouble.
gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, we're gonna get in trouble. Just so you're a YouTuber.
Yep.
All four wheels off the ground.
Oh,
yeah.
Was it all four wheels?
It was, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't feel it in this.
Do you want me to give you a summary of how that was?
I think you should give me a summary of how that was from the back seat.
Okay, well, I'll start from the get-go. In normal driving conditions where 99.9% of people are going to experience this i7,
yep.
It's fantastic. It's super smooth, super spacious. Like I said, business class feel. You get everything that you need, massage seats. The TV is actually pretty good. Even YouTube quality is very good as well. When you then started to do a Joe Achilles, Steph, let's have a silly idea to make a video moment of driving, I felt pretty sick, mate, if I'm honest with you. I didn't throw up, but there was a couple of times there where I felt very nauseous.
Yeah.
Because you can't, and I guess for anybody who is car sick, like to focus on a screen constantly and seeing everything moving around you,
yeah,
is not something natural.
No.
So yeah.
It's always, and that's always been my thinking, even with the old school screens that used to sit on the back of the seats.
Yeah.
If you look at them, you'd have the same thing. If you look at your phone, in fact, you would have that same motion sickness.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you are buying one of these and you're optioning one of these cinema screens or whatever they call it, then don't go rally driving with your clients in the back because, well, it just might end in sick bag tears. But otherwise, very impressive. You're a legend.
Oh yeah,
Thank
thanks.
you very much.
You're not getting a tip for this one, mate. Jesus Christ.
I'll see you guys very soon. I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, look forward to seeing you at another video very soon. Cheers.